Does anybody else think that $20 for a bronzer is crazy? Hello everyone, I'm Shauna and welcome to my channel. So this video is a fun one. I'm super excited about it. It's lighthearted and also a little cheeky. This video is going to be talking about the cost of buying makeup in Canada, and I'm going to be comparing prices and taxes with the United States. This video has a few reasons for its existence, or why I'm filming it. The first is just simply that I really enjoy peeking into the window of how other people live and getting to just talk about some of these things. I think it's fun. The second is a message from my fellow Canadians that sometimes it's not worth buying products directly from an American website. And part of that is if I go on Colourpop's website, or if I'm watching videos in the community and somebody's like, oh, this palette's $12 or this L'Oreal foundation is $10, I'll be thinking it's, oh yeah, like $10, like $10 is $10. But that's not the case. I'll go to buy the Colourpop palette at $12, but after taxes and conversion, that's, $16, $17, $18. And I can sometimes get caught up in thinking in American dollars, but then when I actually go and purchase something, it's way more expensive than I ever realized. And this is totally not a problem unique to Canadians. This is something that affects anybody who watches videos from another creator in another country. And I know Americans dominate this platform in viewers and as creators, and so that's why a lot of this content is shaped for an American audience in mind. So today we're going to be peeking into the curtain of the realities of buying makeup in Canada. I think that's interesting and I hope that you do too. By the way, if you are just interested in some of this makeup breakdown, I will put the timestamp on the screen to let you know when that starts. So I'm going to talk really briefly about taxes because I'm going to break down just a few of the items with the tax inclusions. So in the lovely country of Canada, most of our provinces have a provincial tax and a federal tax. So some of the prairies like Alberta, they only have their provincial tax, which is around 5%. The rest of the country, for the most part, has something called an HST, where it combines the provincial tax and the federal tax. In my province of Ontario, we had a GST, which is a goods and services tax, which was our federal tax, and then we also had a PST, which is a provincial tax. So that was combined a few years ago to make one simple number of HST. So in the Maritimes, all of those provinces are at about 15% tax. In Quebec, it is 14.95%, and in my home province of Ontario is 13% tax. There is a couple other prairies, I think it's Manitoba, that's around 12, and then there's one other that's about 11. So the majority of the provinces in my country have a tax greater than 10%. And when I was looking at the American tax system, the highest tax is around 10%. And I know that there are local taxes and then your state taxes, and where you live in a state can affect how much tax you pay. So some of the graphs and information I was looking at was about average, what the average person in that state would pay for taxes. However, the majority of Americans pay less than 10% in tax. Canadian taxes are higher. We have less people in our country, but our taxes go to different things than in the United States. One thing being healthcare, for an example, but this is not a video about that. I've given just a brief background so you can understand some of the tax information when I get there. So for these items, I'm going to be doing a 10% tax in the US and a 13% tax in Canada. Sorry, for the Canadian items. I'm well aware that that's not what the entire country pays, in both cases, but these are just some examples. Now, on to the fun part. So first up is the Natasha Denona Love Palette. It retails for 65 US dollars, but 87 Canadian dollars. And if we were to just convert the American dollars into Canadian and then pay that price, it would be $87.20. So totally close. If you are paying a 10% tax on this item, your total cost would be $71.05. And then for the Canadian total, it would be $98.31. That's a really big gap. $71.50 to $98.31. The Natasha Denona Biba palette. This one kind of got me a bit. So it retails in the US for $129. With 10% tax, $141.90. I mean, like, as that is, $140 for a makeup palette is a lot. It's expensive. The Canadian palette retails for $170 with tax, $192.10. $200 for an eyeshadow palette. I can't justify it. I can't. Another high-end example is the Drunk Elephant TLC Glycolic Night Serum. So for 1 ounce, it retails for $90 in the US and $118 in Canada. That's a pretty expensive difference. I mean, it's about 30 bucks. 30 bucks. 118 bucks. That's a lot. Wow. Just a few more high-end examples left. So the Fenty Gloss Bomb, it retails for $19 in the US and $25 in Canada. I mean, that difference is not that much, mostly because of the lower price tag, but also the conversion on this is pretty good. So it would be $25.49 if we were to just, convert it and like buy it outright. As well as the Brow Wiz. So it costs $23 in the US and $28 in Canada. Again, with conversion, it should be $30.86. And that's kind of been a theme for some of these. Like the Biba palette, it retails for $129, but the conversion would be $173, even though we're paying $170. And also with Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, $34 in the US, $42 in Canada, but the conversion right now would be about $45. So in the higher end range, it seems as though it's like things are either on par or companies are losing a few dollars per product with conversion. I'm sure they're not taking huge hits in the long run, but that's just what it looks like with conversion. And like those Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, $42, you're paying about 50 bucks with tax for a lipstick. That seems kind of crazy. 50 bucks for a lipstick? Wow. The drugstore prices are, to me, more interesting because conversion isn't really the same here. So for the drugstore prices, I have gone to Target for the prices, and a couple of them I've also looked elsewhere. For the Canadian prices, I've gone to Shoppers, and I've also looked around in my area, gone in store, and I've also looked online at other retailers. So I get that drugstore makeup can fluctuate in pricing differently than luxury makeup or higher end makeup. And also the drugstore system, if you will, is a bit different in Canada and the US. So in the US, I know that there's a lot of coupons, 2 for 1, buy one, get one deals, or CVS will have specific coupons that you get with your purchasing. That's not really the same in Canada for the most part. So usually 99% of the time, the way you get a discount on drugstore makeup is if the company is having a sale, Shoppers is having a sale, 20% off Physicians Formula this week. Or if you shop at a place like Superstore, Loblaws, you can use your points to buy these items, at least where I live in my home province of Ontario. So let's talk about everyone's favorite bronzer, the butter bronzer. Everybody loves this. Now, I've seen a bit of a price variance of this between $13.50 at Target and $15.99 at Ulta. And unless you get that on a sale, that seems about the kind of price that I've also heard people talk about on YouTube, perhaps maybe a little cheaper. In Canada, this ranges from $18.99 to $22.99. $18.99 is what I saw in store, but it's retailing for $22.99 on the Shoppers website. It's actually currently on sale there. If you were to convert the $13.50 to Canadian, it'd be about $18.11. And if you were to convert the $15.99, about $21.50. So while I think those prices are still absurd, like $20 for a bronzer at the drugstore, I don't know. Does anybody else think that $20 for a bronzer is crazy? I don't know. Let's talk about one of the most absurdly priced foundations at the drugstore. It's a L'Oreal foundation. I have the picture on the screen. I saw this at my drugstore a few weeks ago, and this is the foundation. I went, excuse me, L'Oreal, $19.99 for a foundation? Are you kidding me? So with tax, this is $22.58, but it retails for $11.99 in the US. With tax, $13.10. The discrepancy is huge. So I decided to do some math here. If you were to convert $11.99 into Canadian dollars, it'd be $16.09. You add tax on that, it's $18.18. So the difference between that and the retail price is more than $1. And I really am curious as to how these decisions are made. How are they priced? How is conversion thought of into the equation when pricing out these products? I think it's fascinating. Okay, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. It retails for $4.69 at Target, and the Walking on Eggshells quad retails for $2.99. I could not believe my eyes. $2.99. Come on. That's a great price. The foundation retails for $8.79 and the quad at $4.29. So if I were to convert the $4.69 to Canadian, that'd be $6.29. Still $2 cheaper than what it retails for here. I'm wondering why that discrepancy exists. Why that foundation is not simply converted and then sold at that price. If any of you know about that, I would be so interested to hear in the comments. The CoverGirl lipsticks retail for $5.59 in the US and $9.49 in Canada. Man, that's huge. That difference is so big. And if I convert the $5.59, it becomes $7.50. So the difference between the two prices, the $7.50 and the $9.49, is basically $2, which seems like a lot when we think about it. And again, raises the question of how conversion plays into the pricing. Okay, so let's talk about Colourpop. And the example I have here is essentially about placing an order on an American website and what that actually costs. So I picked two palettes, the Going Coconuts palette, which is $12, and then the So Jaded palette, which is $39. The Going Coconuts palette, if you just were to convert that, is $16.10. And then the So Jaded, when you convert that, looks like $52.32. So when a Canadian goes to make a purchase on Colourpop's website, here's what happens. All the things are added to the cart. Your provincial tax is added, and then your shipping costs are added if they apply. All of that, including the shipping, then gets converted to Canadian dollars, and then that's what you get charged. So in my example, because I'd be over the $50 shipping, I wouldn't be charged shipping, which is $9.99, but is actually more expensive when you convert the shipping. And I actually have never thought about that before, that the shipping costs get converted as well. So if you take the 39 and the 12, and then you add a 13% tax, the total is $57.63. That number then gets converted into the Canadian dollar, which the total that you'd get charged is $77.32. So if I was an American and I was purchasing the exact same products and I lived in a state with 10% tax, the total amount I would get charged would be $56.10. So the difference here is $21.22. And an American and a Canadian purchasing the exact same thing would be charged $22 difference. Before this little tax, makeup math calculation, I never really thought about this math. And I've purchased from Colourpop before, and I've purchased from other American sites before. And after this, it just, it almost doesn't seem worth it. But again, as you've seen across the board, because our currencies are different, the evaluation of pricing is different as well. So these prices are just about on par with the other items that I've talked about so far. So in that sense, it does make sense. But when I'm searching, when I'm just, playing on the website, looking around for stuff, I'm seeing $12, $6, $7, and that's the kind of mindset I'm thinking about. And not the $12 palette is actually $16. And it's all even more when everything is converted. And I never thought about my tax being converted. So this video is not a hit at anybody. It's not a hit at Canadians, at Americans. It's just a little research, a little dive into what it costs to live here and to, make everyday purchases here. I was just way more curious about what these conversions look like and what makeup life looks like here. If you would like to see more of this kind of video, I was actually thinking about doing one with this kind of dive into clothing like H&M, Everlane, what it actually costs to shop at Everlane as a Canadian. I thought that would be super cool because I have done some shopping there, and I was a little sticker shocked once I converted my purchases into the Canadian dollar. So if you like this style of video, I really hope that you will subscribe to catch more, and I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.